Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're recording. Okay, I have to be on my best behavior because we're recording. That's good. So anyway, it is really great to see everyone here. Sue and I have rebooted this. It used to be another show about a year and a half ago, and Sue came to me, what was it, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, said, "Hey, let's do this again." And I dove right in. What this is all about is your success and trying to make you as successful as possible on Alignable through other members who have mastered it. And again, we're always learning new things and our tech guys are always making improvements. And so there's a lot going on here at any given time. But when you really take the time to try it out and, follow some of the best practices and principles that Sue teaches, and then these two wonderful members have been coaching people about their own best practices now for a couple of years. So this is awesome. And it's especially important during the contest. Two, because this is the time where everyone can really kick their networking into high gear.
100%. Yes. So this is Aligned for Success, our member success series we do every single week, every single Wednesday at this time. So make sure that you put it on your calendar, recurring every single week, because we always have amazing guests. And I actually set up the guests for the next 3 weeks. So we've got some really good ones coming up. So first of all, my name is Sue, and I have actually been a member of Alignable for more than 10 years, but I came on board with Alignable on the team in 2020. I wouldn't get into the whole story, but Alignable changed my life back then before I started on the Alignable team. And now I work for the team. And my fun fact is I live in a motorhome and I've traveled the whole country and the last 4 years meeting our members in person. And these two have been a huge part of my life, actually, the last few years. And so I'm going to let you two introduce yourself real quick and we'll get started with questions. Let's start with ladies first. Go ahead, Sam.
Well, thank you, Sue. I joined Alignable 2022. So just after the contest, I always say I rejoined Alignable. I discovered it again and thought, oh, this has really changed. So I dove right in, and I am a coach. I'm a business and mindset coach in Calgary, Alberta. My fun fact is I make my way between Calgary and my sister's farm outside of Edmonton. So those of you that are around Edmonton, um, and I was an ambassador first, and you learn from the best. And I always tell people, to be successful on Alignable, you learn from people who are successful. And I learned from Jason. So the very fact that I get to share the stage with Jason, so I became an ambassador, and then I became a group leader. So I lead Coach Connect Hub. I'm not an ambassador anymore right now, and I miss it. But because I am such a nomad like Sue, I'm not in Calgary to host those events as often as I want to be. But thank you for hosting me, and Sue and Chuck and Jason.
So
Great to
glad
see
to
you.
have you.
Thanks.
Jason, let's hear about you.
Oh, that was awesome. That was 2022 when man, we've been on here a while. That's crazy. Time
Wait,
goes by
it is
super fast.
2025. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, it's just 2 years. I'm like, no,
Right.
doing it three.
Right. Oh my goodness. So I'm Jason Integrity. I'm a sales strategist. I'm an ambassador. I run a couple of groups, and I'm really just about connecting with good energy. So if you put out good energy comes back, and all of a sudden, good things happen. So that's where my mindset has always been. And then I keep running into dope people, right? I ran into Sue, and ran into Chuck, I ran into Sam, and it kind of all just happened that way. So I'm just here for the ride.
Awesome. And by the way, as we go through today, if you have a question for these two, go ahead and put it in the chat and we will try to get to that. We do have some questions we want to ask them right away. So why don't you, let's see, what should we start with? Sam, tell us what made you join Alignable in the first place, and do you have a big success story you want to jump right off with right away?
Oh, wow. Oh, you have these things in mind, and you have the list, and then it's like, oh, which one should I share? I joined Alignable. I was searching for, actually, I was searching for networking, and it was 2022. My business was going through a reboot after the world shut down, all that stuff. And Alignable came up, and I thought, oh, what is this? And it looked totally different from when I had seen it before. So I thought, this is really interesting. And when I joined Alignable, I just started meeting really great people. I met Sue, started going to the mastermind. If you're new, go to Sue's mastermind on Friday. Again, just I started meeting Sue. I met Sherry Pedrioli, who leads groups with Sue, and just I started working the platform. And by working it, just meaning doing what everybody said, like go to these events, find out what to do. Took Sue's training, your I'm unalignable, now what? I just started following the best practices. And honestly, I say to people, the first 6 months, I didn't have a client, and people are like, what? You didn't have a client? Well, you need to build up your credibility. You need to build up your business. And yes, I have some people in my group that say, oh, I was really successful early on. And again, there is no path. You do what you need to do on Alignable, and especially for coaches, there's so many coaches that getting on Alignable and joining these types of events, people seeing who you are and connecting with people, like Jason said, connect with good energy, be nice, be kind, do all of that, develop those relationships, and then the business follows. I don't success story. Let me think about it. Go to Jason and let me think about my best success story to share with you.
You got it. Jason, go ahead.
So, but from a best practice standpoint, be yourself, right? So, so I've been in sales for a quarter century, and most people, when they're trying to sell stuff, they're trying to convince people that I'm good enough for the conversation, or they're trying to make themselves fit into some weird box that they think other people would like, and none of that is real. So, if you're showing up as you're already dope. You're already winning. Be yourself, because everybody else is trying to figure it out, right? You're the only you, and that's your differentiation in the marketplace. It doesn't matter if you're networking, if you're selling something, if you're looking for a mate. Be you, be authentic, and if they like you, you go to the next step. If they don't like you, they'll go somewhere else. But let's find out in the beginning, right? So I think the goal of all of this is to find your tribe, connect with people who actually want to see you win. And realize that you're not in this fight alone. It's a whole lot of people that's on this journey with you.
Awesome. Okay, let's hear some success stories.
Success stories. Oh, man, that's a lot. I can use Sam as the example, right? So when I met Sam, we were doing like the open sessions. I was in a mentor for the ambassadors, right? And I was scheduled to do an open session where other ambassadors come in and just ask questions. And I was sitting in there by myself, and I'm like, okay, nobody needs any help this week. And Sam popped in, and we had a great conversation. And then found out that she's a coach, and then she invited me to speak at one of the events that she has for all the other coaches. And then I went in there, and we had a great time. And I was telling them how to sell coaching services, and it made sense for everybody, and we just kept having good conversations. Next thing I know, Samson is a bigger ambassador than I am, and she's popping up on all kind of stuff, and I'm like, man, she's killing it, and it just came from good energy. It wasn't that I was trying to turn her into a client, or she was trying to sell me coaching services. We just connected, and the next thing you know, now we're here in the same place, having a great conversation. And I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I do want to say, you just said something, both of you did. When you put yourself out there and you start helping other people, and you start becoming an ambassador, becoming a group leader, and all of those things, and working together, it elevates both of your, I guess, what people see. They see you now as one of Alignable's experts, right, Chuck?
Yes, indeed. And on that note, I have a question for everybody. Sam, talk to us. We're halfway through the sixth annual contest right now. And You have every time I think of the contest, I think of you, other than someone succeeding beautifully and helping to use the contest, to bring in more wonderful people and praise other people. I remember you telling me when you first saw the contest, you were like, a contest? Why do I even want to do that? So tell us your contest story and why people need to know that.
Oh, thanks, Chuck. For me, and I tell everybody, people don't know it, but my personality, I am more of an introvert. So the reason Alignable works for me is because I feel more comfortable in the relationships that I build on Alignable, and I can have those authentic, deeper relationships. And I got to Alignable in 2022 after the contest. So 2023, when the contest came up, and even though I was an ambassador and people were talking about it, honestly, I say to Chuck, honestly, I didn't pay much attention to it because in my mind, I thought it was a little hokey. I honestly was like, what is like a contest? Like
What the
I'm
heck
a
are they
business.
doing
I know.
now? Yeah.
I know. And so anyway, then I got schooled by, every successful leader and ambassador saying the importance of the contest does signify your community involvement on Alignable by having that badge. And as ambassadors, when we had ambassador meetings, they were helping us how to lead our alliance to promote the contest. And you guys, I am in my happy place when I am helping others. Like my sweet spot is helping new coaches grow their business. That is really what lights me up. So being able to help people navigate the contest, that worked. And yes, you're going to hear on Alignable, do this for the contest, don't do this, ask for votes, don't ask for votes. And my thing is always, like Jason, do it your way. Do what works for you. Be nice, be kind, help people out. If you meet someone and you like them, give them a vote. So I kept just doing that. And for me, as a group leader and an ambassador, I didn't ask people for votes. I was too busy trying to help other people get votes. And I kid you not, at the end of 2023, 2024, sorry, 20, whatever year it was, last year, 2024. And
Right?
Chuck and somebody else in the contest group said, Sam, you're number one in Canada. And honestly, I could have fell on the floor. And I went, what? Like, I'm like, no, like, because I was not like, I was not trying to win. So anyway, that's my claim to fame. I'm number one in Canada, 2024. I got number 20 overall out of everybody. And yes, is it wonderful? Is it great? However, it was a shock to me, Chuck. So again, when you help people, good things happen.
And that's the whole point of the contest is that we're not honoring the most profitable business people and whatever. We're honoring the givers, the go-givers. So what your example was like, I'm so busy trying to help other people get votes. You know what? They were like, look at her. She's helping me get a vote. She cares about what my business is. She cares about me. Okay. So again, this is where I always say unalignable, that terrible expression, nice guys finish last. Honestly, unalignable, if you just remember this, nice gals and guys should finish first because by being nice, by being giving, proactively giving, it helps you with everything, including the contest, but really it helps you with your networking across the board and your reputation. And the contest just amplifies all of that. So you really want to be a good person because it amplifies a lot of things. Let's keep it that way. Let's put it that way. Jason, how about you? What would you tell people? You're always doing well in the contest, but you've gotten to be so well known here by helping people over the years, including telling people not to be a goofball.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite part. You you know, being a real person is important, right? Everything is superficial. Right now, we can all get cloned, and an AI can go and say all kind of crazy stuff. We don't even know who's who, right? So most people are looking to connect. I want to have a real conversation. I want to be able to connect with you in real life. I want to meet you face to face eventually, right? Now that we aren't afraid of COVID, we can go outside again, right? But so all of these things kind of work against you in building your business and building your brand because you have to deal with so much. So now when I get a chance to connect with a real person and they've running a business and I'm trying to run a business and we're sharing stories and your story sounds an awful lot like my story, right? And I don't feel like I'm doing this alone now. And it's super important to say, okay, here's all of the troubles I've had. Here's everywhere that I've fallen down. So maybe you can get up quicker than I did next time you fall, right? But falling is inevitable. You're going to fall down, you know? So when we start talking about connecting in real time and having authentic conversations and eventually like you start to build a brand and a reputation and now you're known for this thing and like Sam says it's super unintentional because you kind of get lost in the sauce of I'm just trying to help people. I'm trying to win at the same time. And so when it comes to getting the votes, like all of a sudden you got like 40 votes and it's like I don't remember. I never asked for any votes, but thanks, right? And now that we're connecting this way, it's like, oh, okay, well, this must be the right way to do it. You know, so you just continue on and you continue to connect with people, and it gives you some satisfaction that people appreciate it, you know, along the way. It's awesome.
I love it.
Right.
So Chuck kind of said something about the goofball behavior, and that's just Jason and I and Sherry Pedroli actually did an event called "I'm Not Getting Any Customers on Alignable, Now What?" So I want to ask both of you guys. I'll start with Jason because of what we're talking about, but a lot of people go, "I'm not getting any customers." Like Sam, I loved it. You said you didn't get any the first 6 months, but you have some really specific things to tell people, especially how to act in groups and how to act on the platform. But go ahead, Jason, let's talk about that.
So we started recognizing goofballs like fairly early, and it was like the goofballs they're just trying to sell stuff. They're not trying to network. They're not trying to connect with people. They don't care about what you have going on. If you end up in a smart connect with a goofball, like they're just waiting for their turn to talk. So they're just watching you, and it's like and they're doing all kind of other stuff, and then it's like elevator pitch, right? I work with small to medium sized businesses, to blah 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 blah, you know, and so once we were able to identify like the goofball behavior, then it's like, yeah, let's not do that. And let's create a space to where people can actually have conversations and connect because this part is super important to building everyone's brand. So if you look at it from a networking standpoint, you want people saying good things about you when you're not in the room. And then when you come in the room and it's like, hey, Jason's here. And it's like, who's this Jason guy? Because I've heard about you in a couple of different places. You either good at what you do or you super nice. So either way, I want to know you, right? So that helps you build your brand. So the goofball behavior is the spamming and you're just trying to sell stuff and waiting for your turn to talk. You hard selling. And you go into the smart connects with the intent to sell and you're collecting data. And you can spot a goofball super fast because they're the first ones in the chat to give you all of their information. Right? Here's email address. Here's my Facebook page. Here's my mother's maiden name. It's all in there. So if in case you want to get a hold of me and buy some stuff, it's there, right? So the goal is to not be that. Be a regular person, show up authentically and have some real conversations. If it feels good, set up a one-on-one, move to the next step. And what's cool about it is we did the workshop about it. I'll put the link in the chat. Don'tbeagoofball.com is a real place. And it explains what a goofball is. And it's the workshop Sue and I did about it. I'll add that to the chat.
I'm crying laughing because that was hilarious. Mother's maiden name. Oh my God. Okay, Sam, you want to keep going with that one?
Well, and honestly, I went to the training at the beginning. So if you have limited time, just watch Sue's replay videos. If you can go to the training live, I always tell people that's the best. You know, there's good, better, best. The best, go live. If you can't, go watch the videos and do that. Just do, like, fill out your profile. Go to events. Don't be a goofball. Be nice. Be kind. Allow the process to happen. And someone had said to me in one of my groups that, well, if you didn't get a client here for 6 months, like, how do you spend all this time on Alignable? Well, I didn't at the beginning. Everything's on my calendar, so it's all relative to what time you can spend. So at the beginning, when I was on Alignable, I had clients from other different ways, and I would be on Alignable once or twice a week. I would make sure I was building my connections. And no, Alignable isn't paying me for this. I don't have any affiliate link or anything. I always say to people, the game changer for me was deciding to go premium. Like, I didn't have a premium membership at first. And then I thought, oh, what's this premium? And again, you've got to look at your marketing dollars and where you're spending your money. However, as soon as I went premium and saw the power of premium, and you guys, this is almost 3 years ago, and that it is not even compared to what premium does right now. Like, I can't believe all of the features. And no, that's why I say they're not paying me to say this, because for me, that was, if you have marketing dollars, or if you have somewhere where you can trim your budget, the first thing I tell everyone you should be investing in, when they ask me what's my best tip, have a premium account. One, you get to see all of the insights, you get to know what your profile is doing behind the scenes, you get more connections. And two, I hate to break it to you, it's the truth, everybody that's successful on Alignable, we all look for the other people that have premium membership, because we go, oh, are they investing in their business? Are they taking their business serious? Are they other people that want to network on Alignable? And I could say more and more and more about it. But anyway, that was the game changer for me. The start of it.
Jason, what do you think of that? You know, when people, and again, building off of, oh, I don't have any customers, this isn't doing anything for me. How does premium fit into that for you?
So if you don't have any customers, then you're probably talking to the wrong people, and you're doing goofball stuff and trying to sell to everybody. So if you're trying to sell to everybody, you're selling to nobody, and it's like that for marketing. Trying to market to everybody, marketing to nobody. So I think that's part of the initial problem. But as far as premium, it's fantastic because it gives you a national voice instantly, right? So I expressly like this in the algorithm, because when you put out content, when you put out a post and somebody in your network, they come in and they comment on it, that post then goes out to their network. So if they're in Alberta or if they're on the West Coast, then now you just got exposure in those areas that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten. So I had somebody that I had just met who was in California. No, I'm sorry, he was in Texas. And he was like, dude, you Alignable famous. I see you all the time. And I'm like, what? He's like, I see you all the time on Alignable. And I'm like, where? And he was like different posts and stuff. So then we started looking at who friends we had in common. And we had like, I don't know, 50 people in common. I'm like, oh, so you're seeing that repost of the post. So I'm not famous. It's just that the algorithm is working for me. And then that's when I started talking a lot about getting premium, like get premium, because you get out there way faster, because you're not limited to just your local area now. Now your regular posts are now a national campaign. It's fantastic.
Exactly. And while you're on this, while we're talking to you, there's a question in the chat that says, what do you say to a goofball when you find one? Let's say you're in a yeah. Go ahead, Jason. What do you say?
So the problem is, most people who are goofballs, that they don't know that they're goofballs. So you don't want to be mean to them. They're just doing the stuff that they thought that was sales activities because they saw it in some 1985 training that this is how you sell. You smile and dial, always be closing, right?
1985, yeah.
So they're thinking an outdated way of selling and their approach to it. But now people are smarter. The average consumer actually does research. They read other reviews. So smiling and dialing is not going to work. And ever since the invention of caller ID, then they're not answering the phone anyway. So that's a bad thing. So people are just thinking outdated things when it comes to sales processes. And there was a time where you could just pitch everybody the exact same way because nobody had heard that pitch. But now people are communicating out and somebody has heard that pitch before, and now they know that you got that from something else and you watched The Wolf of Wall Street and you think that whispering is going to actually do something, so it's problems like that that creates the goofballs. They think because they've seen it work somewhere else, then I can rinse and repeat. And then they lose their authenticity. So it's not necessarily the goofball fault that they're a goofball. They're just trying stuff that they've seen other people have success with. But to answer the question, what to say is like, if they've been around here, you can be like, hey, that's goofball behavior. You might want to not do that, or you can just point out the fact that, hey, let's just connect as opposed to you trying to sell me something that I don't need. I'm not buying. This is a networking event. This is not a sales event. So let's network. Let's bring that down a little bit. You got kids? Let's tell me about that. So you can kind of smooth it over a little bit and change the narrative or the focus of the conversation and get them out of sales mode. So what I've learned and what I've noticed is that people, especially like introverts, not dissing introverts, but introverts have to gear up for networking events. You got to get your mind right. And it's like, okay, we going in here, we're going to sell some stuff. So now in their mind, that's the activity. So they're trying to pitch and they're trying to close because that's what they think selling is, as opposed to just networking and relaxing and just talking to people. And now it's not so scary anymore because you don't have to turn in to the Wolf of Wall Street. You can stay yourself and just talk to people. So it's an easier process when you can just be yourself and relax and just have a conversation.
And Sam, going off of that, let's go to groups for a second. There's a lot of groups on Alignable. You run at least one group, right? Just one, or do you run one? Okay. So, and Jason runs a couple. A lot of people ask me this. And so how do you act in groups? So I know lots of people get on Alignable, especially brand new members. They think Alignable is social media. They think it's social media, which most people on Facebook and LinkedIn, they just put out their advertisements and tell everybody how awesome they are. But what do we do differently here on Alignable? Or what do you do differently in groups when you're interacting in groups?
I love this question. And it is all about like when people say, oh, you're all over, and same with Jason, people say, oh, I see you all over Alignable. Again, this is over 3 years. Like you build up, and I didn't have my group for the first year and a half. So I hosted my own group, and what I find in my group that works well, attend these events. And I host events too. And I say, whether you're in my events or you're in Alignable events, if you're new to Alignable, go to the Alignable events, like go to Sue's mastermind, go to Chuck's weekly Wednesday local business group, go to that one, like search up Alignable events, go to Alignable events, get understanding how to be on the platform. If that's all the time you have, attend those. If you have more time, then find your industry group. So mine is coaches. If you're a coach, join my group. If you're a financial coach, join the financial consultants group. And again, I have links for everything if anybody wants, but maximize your time, be strategic about your industry. There are groups for everything. There's health groups, there's insurance groups, there's financial groups, there's life coach groups, there's health coach groups. I cannot say enough about go to the groups, check them out. Like I'm in a couple other women's groups. I don't spend as much time there as I did in the beginning because I have my own group. However, you'll find your people. Jason talked about find your people. Then spend time there. Go to those rather than the spray and pray, go to all these different groups, get known in a group. So if all you have time for is an hour or two a week, go to the same group, go to the same group, be there. People can see you. They can go, oh, hey, how are you? You know, you build that relationship. Then if you are posting, if people see your face and they know you, they're more apt to post on your post or reply to your post or become part of the conversation. And then you, as the person that posted, reply to them, carry on the conversation, get into the conversation on the post. However, if you are not showing your face on Alignable, you are posting into the wind. No one knows who you are if you have a post and you have not put your face on Alignable. And I know that from my group. The people I see in my events and they post, I try to comment on it. And I try to, you know, whatever I can to encourage the engagement. If somebody posts in my group and I've never met them or seen them, it's not the same connection. So the groups are very powerful if you use them strategically.
Awesome. And there is a question in here. What types of posts should we be putting out on Alignable? Jason, I want you to answer that one.
So that's a great question. My man Craig asked that one. So there are three types of content: hero, help, and hub content, right? The hub content is the things that you like, things that you care about, right? This brings in, it creates good energy between you and the people who are connected with you. So if you're posting positive things, if you're posting stuff that's informative, put that out. You know, don't try to educate the consumer because they didn't come to you for education, right? That's not what you should be doing in your post. You do that on your website. Help content: 5 things you need to know before you do this. You know, 3 things you need to know before you do that. Right? Just let me give you some good information. You know, and finally, the hero content is webinars and workshops and things like that you can invite people to, and they can come in, and now they're there at that webinar for that education. So everything is brand building. Let me give you some good information, and it's pulling people into your ecosystem so that they want more information from you. So when you're posting on Alignable, kind of keep that in mind and direct this in conversation to your market segments of this information is for this particular group. I'm talking to this group, right? Don't try to talk to everybody because your message will get lost.
Absolutely. And what you were just saying, make sure one of the ways that you can get your posts hidden on Alignable or removed is by copying and pasting the same thing in a whole bunch of groups, right? You never want to do that. It's exactly what Jason just said. I hope you guys heard what he said. Make sure that whatever you're posting in the group has to do with that topic. If it's an AI group, make sure you're talking about that. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Someone was also asking, there was some other questions in here. Did you see any other?
Yeah. Who else are coaches here in here is the question. So, let me translate that a little bit. Where do people find, groups to coach? How does that happen? How do you become a group leader?
Do either of you guys want to answer that?
So go to groups that you care about. Join groups and see how these groups run, right? Things that there are coaching groups, there are consultant groups, right? Go in there and splash around. Look for people who are asking questions and just answer the question. You know, this is how I got any little popularity that I have. I was going into groups, and if anybody asks any question about marketing and sales, I just answered the question. So what that does for you is you're answering a question for one person, but the entire room sees it. And if one person asks the question, there are 200 other people who had that same problem. So people will start to know you as a resource. And then as you continue to do that, somebody from one of the groups will say, hey, you want to do an event? Hey, you want to be a co-leader? And then they'll pull you in because you're already putting out the energy. You know, other than that, then why do you want to be a group leader, right? Like if you're not already participating. So I would say participate first, and then see if this is a space you want to be in, and then you'll get invited to do more because it's a lot of work in doing this stuff.
Yeah, and I also want to keep that going with the posting thing. I know I see a lot of people, they'll see someone ask a question like someone will say, "Hey, I'm really having a hard time. I need to get a website built and I need to know blah blah blah." And then you get people coming on and say, "You need to hire me. Here's my contact information. I'm awesome, or I'll give you a free consultation." What do you guys say to that? Sam, you're shaking your head.
Don't do it. Just honestly, don't do it. Like, answer the question as far as, hey, here's a tip. And people will look at your profile, and this is why it is so critical to have your photo there, to have your tags there. Like, people will look. I mean, think of your own behavior on Alignable. If somebody answered something or somebody put something that was of value to you, you go and you look at their profile and you can see if they're a website person, a marketing person, whatever type of coach you are, and people will seek you out. So just be careful from, I think we've talked about it before, that it's often, think of the dating website, the dating website people, they don't go, "Hey, will you marry me?" right away. It's like you go on one date, you go on the next date. Alignable is still similar, that you put the comment out there, and then if people answer back, comment back. Like, it is not the hurried gain to get clients on Alignable if you're trying too hard, I guess is
Right.
the moral of the story.
Yes, and I
And one
want
other thing, yeah, I was just thinking though, what you two are both saying, show off your expertise.
Yeah.
So many here have come out of big careers. Now they're doing their own thing. You've got plenty of expertise. Don't hide it. Show
Yeah.
it and let people benefit from that. And then that is that's paying it forward as well. But it can be, what Jason was saying, keep posting, and again, responding to questions is a perfect strategy. You could do that for 2 hours a day, and all of a sudden everyone will know you.
Yes, and I wanted to bring this up because going back to when you guys were talking about premium, I'm not sure if anybody knows this because it's fairly new with the way that the membership plans are. But if you're a premium member on Alignable, now you get this amazing Ask About Services button that's on your profile. And as you guys probably know, you have to be connected with someone before you can message them. But that Ask About Services button is super powerful because people do not have to be connected with you to ask you about your products and services. So just imagine what these two are telling you. Go in and be helpful in these groups, be seen, show your face, help people. People are going to go to your profile and they're going to say, "I want to ask about services," and they don't even have to be connected to you. Now, there's a question in here that kind of goes along with connections. So this kind of rolling in the right way here. Someone's asking if they've always struggled whether or not to accept a connection request from someone who might not be a good referral partner. So, or anything. So please talk to that. What if someone wants to connect with you and you look at them and you're not sure if you should connect with them or not? Jason.
How do you know from looking at them? That's kind of weird, you know? Why are you judging? You know, the think about what I said about the algorithm, right? Every person that you ask, who you connect with, they are now a part of your network, and they are now a part of your branding and marketing output. So if they're coming and they interact with your content, then they're putting in your content out to their network. So as many things that they're connected to, now you're connected to. So it benefits you to connect with as many people as you can. Now, if they prove to be a goofball, that's a different thing. If they are trying to hard sell you, you see them trying to go through your list, they're asking for referrals all the time, then it's just like, all right, now you got to go. But if they're just trying to connect with you, then connect. What's the harm in that?
Exactly. And I want to know if from either one of you or both of you, hopefully both of you, that we now are really Alignable's back end, our software engineers have built this amazing AI powered networking on your My Network page. So when you click on My Network, you get the page of your entire network, and then you have a chance, if you're a premium member, to actually see other people's networks. So it's like the whole thing of, you don't know who people know, right? Just like what you were saying, Jason, you don't know. They might, if they're not your ideal customer referral partner, they might know a whole lot of other people. So you can connect with them, click on my network, and you can actually go look at their networks. Have you guys used this? Are you using this to get introductions and ask for introductions? Either one of you can answer that.
Can I answer the part about connections?
Yes.
I look at, and then I'll go into that, and I know we have limited time. I look at it like someone is connecting with me, and like Jason said, I don't know. However, people have X number of connections. If you have reached out to me to use one of your connections, I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to accept that connection because you decided to use a connection request. If I'm in an event, I will tell everyone in my group, because again, as a group leader and a Premium Plus account, I have 100 connection credits a month, and they are golden. So I know within that month, I know when my date is, when all of my connection credits roll over. I use every connection credit because I want to make sure that I'm maximizing it. But I'll tell everyone that comes to my events, don't connect with me. If you have attended my event and we are not connected, I will reach out and connect with you because I appreciate you spending time with me. If you're going to spend time, then I will connect with you. And some people that connect with me, if they have enough credits, that's great. But if you, sorry, what was the second part of the question, Sue? I just wanted to make sure that you can disconnect with people if you don't want to be connected, or if somebody's spamming you.
Exactly. And also this just came to me. Sometimes just keep in mind, everyone, that, and you guys I'm sure agree with me, the people that are new on Alignable, they don't know how to act on Alignable. They don't know what we're all about here. But they're used to doing all the things they're taught to do on social media. So they probably don't know. And a lot of times take that, I don't know if you two agree with me on this, but let's say someone does that. There's been times where I said, well, we don't really do this around here on Alignable, but I'd love to meet with you and share how it might help, how you might want to act on Alignable, the messages you want to send. It might actually, I've had actually people say, oh, thank God I don't have to do that. I didn't know I didn't have to do that. You have anything to say
Right.
about that? Like taking those things and turning them around? Jason?
Oh, for sure. I tell people all the time, do what works for you. And as an introvert at the beginning, I couldn't do a lot of smart connects. Jason talks about, your energy has to be ready to, keep meeting people. So I just sometimes went to half a smart connect. I'd go and I'd do, 3 or 4 one-to-ones, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm done. I can't, like, I'm overloaded. I need my, I need my hermit time. I need to re-energize. And that's okay too. That is totally, like, do what works for you, and hang out with people like me, Jason, other group members, your ambassadors. If you're an alliance member and you have an ambassadors, like I learned from Jason and Todd and Sherry, and like, you will find the people that will help you so much. Just ask, and people are willing to help. And just have conversations with people, spend time, have really good disciplined habits about being on Alignable. At the beginning, I was on Alignable 10-15 minutes a day. That was it. And then, it just increased the more that I got to know people and became more successful and built my business on Alignable. And I'm at 80% now. 80% of my business from 0 in 2022 to 80% of my business comes through Alignable. So allow it to happen.
And what do you say to that, Jason? Because you're shaking your head too. I know a lot of people say, I'm not getting any customers here. I don't know if they're thinking that Alignable is just going to say, here's a bunch of customers because they're
Here they are. Right.
Right. Like, shut up and take my money. So, all right, let me say this first. You're not working a job no more. This is your company. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. You don't want to work today, don't work today. right? This is your thing. So it has to be built around you. These are my core values. These are the things I care about. Here's the audience I want to help. This is the industry I want to focus on. This is all yours. You do exactly how you want to do, and all of your energy should go towards supporting your dream, right? It's your dream. It's your thing, right? We walked away from corporate to do our own thing, right? So do it. So let's figure out what works. So I need to talk to people. I'm introverted, but I need to talk to people in order to get customers. Nobody said that you have to go door to door to talk to people. Now, what's a good way, effective way that I can talk to people and I feel comfortable, right? So let's figure that out. Who can I connect with to where when I go there, I'm not alone? At least there are some familiar faces. Who can I connect with that has a network that's kind of large and I don't have to talk as much? I can just go stand next to them. Find Sam, stand next to Sam, and you're gonna meet some people, right? So be strategic about what you're trying to do. Understand the goals that you have along the way. And now it's not an insurmountable thing. It's just how do you eat an elephant, right? So let me get on here. Let me start putting out some content. Let me go and I'm gonna go start answering some questions. Okay. Jason and Sue got an event. I'm gonna go there and I'm going to see who's there. I'm going to ask some questions. I'm going to get some energy. I'm going to go to Sue's mastermind and I'm just going to answer questions and see who I can help. And then now you're putting out good energy, and good energy has no choice but to come back, right? Reciprocity is a real thing. So if you're doing these activities, it feeds your business. Next thing you know, 80% of your clients coming from Alignable. That's a crazy number. So all of these things work on your behalf if you're putting energy in the right places, if you're actually doing the work. It's impossible to fail if you don't stop. So just keep going, right? So when it comes to networking and building your brand and attracting customers and all this stuff, it's a lot of moving parts. So you want to build it in a way that fits you, not trying to repeat stuff that you've seen other people doing, because you may not have the energy for it, right? So introverts recharge alone. Sam says she'll go into solitude and she'll recharge, and then she can deal with people again. I'm an extrovert. I get energy from other people. So the more I stay around other people, the more energy I have. Right. So I can do this all day. I don't need a break. So you have to see what fits you, the kind of energy you want to be around, and then you build upon it. And then it can't help but work.
Awesome.
That is great advice across the board, not just for Alignable, but in general. And it is interesting, a lot of people don't know that Sue identifies herself as an introvert.
I am an
And
introvert.
I do not. I identify myself as an extrovert, but I have a secret introvert who's making all the lists and doing all the writing. But yeah, no, I could do these things all day long.
There's a networking for introverts group. It's the first or second group I started on Alignable when I came on board, was a networking for introverts, for all you introverts in the room.
Very popular.
You brought up the mastermind, so I do want to talk about that, because both of you have been very, very integral part of my mastermind with Sue groups, masterminds every single Friday. Thank you guys both for helping with that. Sam, what kind of things would you say, any tips on joining the mastermind group on Fridays? And there's other masterminds, by the way, in the networking for introverts. There's other masterminds, but go ahead. What's the power of that?
I would say for the first 2 years on Alignable, I don't think I missed maybe a couple of the Friday mastermind group. I saw Sue every week on Friday. Just because my schedule's changed, I haven't been there now for a little while. However, anyone that comes to me new on Alignable, I'm saying join the introverts group on Mondays, go to Sue's group on Friday, because that is where people are there to help you. If you're an introvert, you're going to get introvert strategies. Does Carrie still lead the group on Monday, the introverts group? Again, you have the applicable leaders in every group that are going to help you navigate Alignable and answer your questions, plus the people in the group. There's so many people that show up at Sue's mastermind that people end up seeing each other, they're meeting with each other, seeing each other in the group, and then they end up being in a one-to-one or end up doing business together. I know Jason and I have run webinars together. I've done business deals with people I've met in Alignable. So collaborations happen when when people see you and hear you, and Chuck talked about sharing your expertise, like people start to reach out to you. Oh, I get so many messages. Oh, I saw you in that, and what you said about this, can you help me? Absolutely. Here's my calendar link. You can book with me. If that doesn't work, come to one of my events. I host Q&A events. There's just so many different ways that you can get in to talk to the people that you need to ask questions of. Just look, ask for help, and you will find it. If you are not successful on Alignable, then you're just not showing up in the right places or the right people.
And because I'm looking at the time here, you can answer that, Jason, too, but I want you both to give your best tips. If there's people on here that have either been on here a while and not finding the success that they're expecting, or brand new members that might be here today, the best tips that you can give, the best #1 tips. Let's go with Jason.
Okay, so let me touch on the mastermind real quick. Sue's mastermind is fantastic. Not from a place of gaining attention from yourself, but if you are stuck with any facet of your business, it's a room full of experts. You go in there and ask your question, and you're going to get a real answer, or something that's actionable that you can use. I think that's my favorite part about the mastermind. That's also a really good tip, right? But recognize that is work involved. There is no magic bullet to this. You have to show up. You got to be a real person. You got to follow up. You need to book the one-on-ones. You got to go to the events, right? Connect with people. I see Latoya here. Go to Latoya's mastermind. She has 1 million people at her stuff. Go to her events and splash around. But you have to show up.
Sam, best tip.
Honestly, go find the money, like trim your budget somewhere. If you invest in premium and you invest your time in, making your connections, doing what the premium benefits are. I'm probably a weekly staple in Kathy's premium member event. Kathy from Alignable has an event for premium members every Tuesday where you can pop in. Recently, I've been popping in every week, even for a few minutes, saying, Kathy, help, because I'm trying to help another member get their profile where we're doing a collaboration. So I just can't say enough that premium is where it's at, and that's my #1 tip for everyone.
Wow. And I do want to remember to tell you guys this. I just met with Kathy right before the episode today, and there is a premium only, very private group for only premium members. And like Sam says, Kathy, and I'm going to start joining a lot of those where you can just be in a room with us, in a small group with us, to ask us anything. I'm going to be starting to host premium only events. If you're a premium member and you're in that very exclusive premium only group, and we're just starting to build that. If you want to be invited to that group, send me either a message, or you're going to go ahead and send me an email, sue@alignable.com. I am happy to send you an invitation for that group. And especially if you just upgraded to Alignable to the premium membership because of this event, make sure you let me know that as well, and I'll get you in that group right away. And I'm going to be hosting some premium only masterminds. I haven't even told these two about it because they're going to be helping me in that group. So it's going to be fun. So I want to make sure you did that. But thank you both. Chuck, we still have 5 minutes. Any last minute things you want them to?
We do. I just want to make sure, and I've been doing a whole conversation on the side here with the gang, acting like an introvert, by the way. But I have posted here. I did some arm wrestling with the powers that be, and for the rest of the contest, there is a great premium discount. It's just the premium monthly plan. You sign up for it now using this link. And if that link for some reason doesn't work because technology is not always my friend, email me at chuck@alignable.com and I will send it to you. The best thing about this is you get all the great premium benefits everyone's been talking about, plus you get 50 extra votes. to use during this contest to really kick your networking into high gear and really see what all premium can do for you. And you get the first month for free. That's
Wow.
it. It's a
Thanks.
no-brainer. So do that, and yeah, and then you get to take that fancy course with Sue that I just heard about. I didn't even know about that. And you know, and really just watch everything just explode in the most positive way for you on Alignable. Because that's really what Sue and I want. It's what, you know, Sam and Jason want for everyone coming here to say, hey, you know what? We went to that thing and we tried this, and man, were they right.
Can
100%.
I say one thing just because I saw
Yeah.
something in the chat? I don't even read the chat, but it just flashed across and someone had mentioned, oh, if we're not premium, we don't get help then or something like that.
That's
No.
Absolutely not. In any of the groups, free members can join any of the groups. In my group, you can join, and I host many events, and so do other groups where any member can join and ask questions. So in your Alignable group, your Alliance group, no, there is always help available on Alignable.
100%. And then I did post in there that you just click on the My Business tab at the top, go click the down arrow and go to get support. There's a support link there that you can ask anything. All right. And then also you can ask people like this. In fact, everyone here should go back to the where you registered for this event, and you can see the people who registered, and you can see the attendees. You can find these guys here, connect with other people that are here today. Also, you all have something in common. You could talk about what you learned today from these wonderful people. So thank you guys both for being here. You guys are such a plethora of information. I hope that you guys will reach out to them. I will tell you that if you go to each of their profiles, go see all the cool things that they have going on. Jason just finished a book, which is very exciting, like I did too.
Super.
I finished my book a few months ago, and I'm really excited about it. So go to his profile and you can read all about that. Sam, go to her profile and see all the things she's doing. Anything else, Chuck, before we end
Well,
this? We got
Sam, and you know, I think I've thanked you for this at some point, but I want to express gratitude to the whole group here. Sam has actually been running a group that promotes the contest and the how-tos and the what you get out of it and all of that. I've been so busy, I wanted to go to that because I think I'd learned something there. But you know, I want to give you a big shout out, Sam, for that. That I've been hearing more people saying to me, wait, I just went to Sam's event. You want me to go to one of your contest events? I'm like, it's all
I
good.
just host the winners. So
Yeah,
hear it anyway. It's great. Thanks, Chuck.
awesome. And
that's
Jason,
very
thanks
sweet of
again.
you to do. Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason. Everybody connect with these two amazing people. Have a wonderful, amazing day. You guys are all amazing. See you next Wednesday. All right. I can't remember who we've got on the schedule, but I know they're amazing.
Same time, same bat channel. Yes.
Awesome. See you guys soon. Thank you.
Thanks, folks.